Hey, what's up gamers? You got TigerChainsaw, and I am back to creating some Sega Master System content. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing Fantasy Zone from 1986. Now, this was a big turning point for Sega. This was an arcade game that they ported to the home consoles. It was a cute 'em up, and that was kind of relatively new, and it also starred Opa-Opa. That was perhaps Sega's first attempt at a mascot. We are going to get into all of those things in this review. Now, if this is your first time on my channel, or if you just haven't yet, make sure you hit that sub button because I've got tons of Master System content and I've got tons of reviews from retro video games to more current video games, and I've got lots of opinions on all of them. All right, let's jump into Fantasy Zone and see if this game is any good. Ported from the arcade, Sega's Fantasy Zone was a colorful shooter starring Opa-Opa, who some consider to be Sega's first mascot. In 1986, Fantasy Zone came to the Sega Master System, which is the version that I'm reviewing today. Opa-Opa, I am your father. That's a bad joke, but you'll get more of that after we review the plot. And speaking of the plot, spoilers are ahead. So when I first started to play Fantasy Zone and I learned about Opa-Opa, I was kind of confused about what Opa-Opa is. Is it a spaceship? Is it a pilot who is inside the spaceship? The more that the years have gone by, I have began to realize that Opa-Opa actually is the spaceship and it is an entity. There's not really a pilot inside of it, and so that is what makes Opa-Opa one of Sega's mascots. Now, I explain all of that because it's kind of confusing, this plot and who Opa-Opa is, so just bear with me with this. In this universe exists a fantasy zone. It's full of colorful and pleasant landscapes. It looks something out of Candyland with how the levels and the graphics are. But the enemy forces are taking over and destroying the land led by an unknown leader. Opa-Opa, who I was talking about previously, sets out to restore order in the Fantasy Zone and take down the invading army. You'll take control of Opa-Opa as you destroy bases on your way to fighting 8 different bosses. The final boss is the mysterious leader of the invading army, and it turns out to be Opa-Opa's father. Now, this plot was probably influenced by Star Wars as it was released just 3 years after Return of the Jedi. Unless Sega was trying to parody the plot of Star Wars, I do think it's kind of lame that they copied that plotline, even if it's minuscule in a game that few people ever played and even fewer people even beat. I like my plots to be unique and creative, and because of that, I thought the Fantasy Zone plot was just a little bit lame. Now, shoot 'em ups don't really need sophisticated plots, and I guess the whimsical nature of Fantasy Zone goes along with this plot, so overall, I wish they didn't do the whole I am your father thing, but it is what it is. In Fantasy Zone, you'll fly Opa-Opa through 8 different levels, each one of them filled with vibrant colors and cute enemies. Even though it's a shooter, it's vastly different from the typical space shooters set in deep space with alien ships. Fantasy Zone is straight from some programmer's bad drug trip, and during my Fantasy Zone playthrough, I kind of felt like I was on one. To start the game, Opa-Opa is very weak, and he's only equipped with the twin shots, which is your main weapon. This fires 2 side-by-side bullets, and you also have a single bomb that you can drop on enemies. The more enemies that you defeat throughout the levels, the more money you can collect. Each one of them explodes, and they will explode money. I wish that was how real life worked. Killing enemies will result in them dropping small and large coins for you to collect. Each level will have a floating shop sign that you can access to purchase upgrades. You will need to continue to upgrade Opa-Opa if you have any chance of defeating the bosses. Not only is Opa-Opa weak, but he's really slow. You'll have the chance to buy bigger wings and 3 different upgraded engines to zoom around the screen. Now, with so much action on the screen, I held off as long as possible before purchasing the actual engines, as Occasionally, I would die from lack of control. There are two forms of weapons, one you shoot and one you drop. You'll have your chance at buying temporary upgrades like lasers or wide beams, but those only last for about 10 seconds, which is 10 seconds more than I last during sex. I mean, before it reverts to your twin shots. The key, and this is something I just learned during my playthrough, is buying all three engines. Once you do that, your main weapon becomes infinite. So if you buy a special weapon, it will stick, making the game 100 times easier. My weapon of choice was the 7-shot spray, which, as you can guess, shoots 7 bullets in a wide array. The levels are split into the typical element terrains. Instead of just flying to the right of the screen on a scrolling level, you'll have full control of Opa-Opa with the ability to turn around and scroll both left and right. You'll need to do that to find the bases in each stage. Each base is themed and there are 6 of them on each level that you need to destroy. You'll have to destroy all the bases on the entire level to get the exit to face the boss. If you die, you'll restart at the beginning of the level with the opportunity to go straight to the shop. But honestly, this game is a lot easier if you just do a straight run without dying. I know, easier said than done. Now you guys know that boss fights are some of my favorite things in all of video games, so let's take a little bit of a closer look at the bosses in Fantasy Zone. The first boss, well, he's a wooden log that pukes wooden pellets at you. You'll have to shoot him in the mouth to deal damage. Boss number 2, well, this guy is just literally a bong. I mean, he has to be, right? He's the guy on the cover of the box. For me, he was the most difficult boss. You have to shoot his 3 orbiting balls to kill him, and if you don't do it in time, he closes in on Opa-Opa destroying him. Boss number 3, he kinda looks like a sun made from sand with lasers attached to the side of his face. They'll shoot in order, but if you stay above him, you can just drop bombs on him and it's pretty easy. Boss number 4 is some type of fish. He looks like a piranha if you ask me. He'll stick out his tongue and shoot some spikes at you. Boss number 5, well, this is a snowman army. You'll face 8 little snowmen, then 4 larger ones, then 2 big ones, and then finally a gigantic snowman. Boss number 6. I like turtles. Sorry, I had to. This boss sticks his head out of his shell while spraying chunks from the top of his shell. Boss number 7. This guy is just a face, and one that it looks like it belongs on a totem pole. He'll separate into a few pieces before reforming again. This guy actually looks really cool. And boss number 8 is the finale. You won't see the full body of this boss until you defeat him. A blue tongue with a face will zigzag along the screen until you shoot it a few times. Do this over and over, and the leader of the invading army will be defeated. The tongue reels back to the right side of the screen and into a larger spaceship that looks like Opa-Opa. I have to admit, this boss fight was just brutal. It was very difficult for me, and I had to look up how to defeat this guy because I really struggled on him. It turns out that you should buy some super bombs and drop them on his tongue as it's zigzagging across the screen. Once I learned that, it did get a lot easier, but man was this guy tough. The end credits reveal that the final boss was indeed Opa-Opa's father, and Opa-Opa is just so distraught over the fact that he just killed him. Fantasy Zone is a colorful, cute shoot-'em-up worth your time because you'll be able to beat it within 15 minutes after a lot of practice. It's not really worth revisiting though, so just make sure you enjoy it while it lasts. Colorful, cute, and quick. You'll beat it in no time once you discover that buying 3 engines makes your main weapon infinite. I did love the boss fights, and I did like the boss rush at the end. That was something that was very common in video games in the 80s. For a shoot 'em up, or some might say a cute 'em up, Fantasy Zone is pretty solid. In fact, it's going to get a 7 out of 10 from me, making this a good game on the Sega Master System. Alright gamers, that was my Fantasy Zone review from 1986 for the Sega Master System. Now I will be reviewing Fantasy Zone 2 for my next video, and I got a lot to say about that one because that is actually one from my childhood. The original, I didn't have as a kid, so I'm not as nostalgic for it, but I still enjoyed my time with it. But I want to hear from you guys. Who here that's watching has played Fantasy Zone, and what are your thoughts on it? Is it any good? Is it better than the second one? No way. But anyway, I want to hear from you guys, and if you haven't yet, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. I've got tons of Master System content all across my channel. Gamers, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you play a video game today.